DILR section cover करेंगे 3 months में, and in this video I will tell you the topics that you need to cover, the preparation structure as well as the resources that you can use, and most importantly we will be solving a live DILR set because अभी maximum चीज़ें जो आप सीखोगे that is by solving more and more sets. थ्योरी से ऐसे भी आप DILR क्रैक नहीं कर सकते, and अभी आपके पास टाइम भी नहीं है कि आप थ्योरी में बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम दो. That's why you have to solve more and more sets, and उसी को आपको यूज़ करना पड़ेगा for your preparation as well. So step 1 में आप कैसे एक सेट का स्ट्रक्चर बनाते हो, step 2 में आप कैसे पैटर्न रिकॉग्नाइज करते हो सो दैट यू कैन सॉल्व एनी सेट दैट कम्स फ्रॉम द सेम पैटर्न इन फ्यूचर एज वेल. एंड शायद ये टेक्निक सारे ही टॉपर्स यूज करते हैं, जस्ट दैट दे आर नॉट टोल्ड. जैसे वो 40-50 DILR सेट सॉल्व करते हैं उनको ऑलरेडी रिकॉग्नाइज हो जाता है कि ऐसा मुझे कुछ करना पड़ेगा टू इम्प्रूव फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट सेट, एंड वो सबकॉन्शियसली ये चीज़ें, ये पैटर्न रिकॉग्निशन एंड एवरीथिंग शुरू कर देते हैं. बट इफ यू आर जस्ट स्टार्टिंग योर प्रिपरेशन दिस विल बी वेरी यूजफुल सो दैट आप फर्स्ट सेट से ही ये चीज़ें रिकॉग्नाइज करना शुरू कर दो. सो स्टार्ट करते हैं उसके टॉपिक से. एंड अगर आप टॉपिक्स देखोगे तो ये कुछ टॉपिक्स होते हैं DILR में जो आप कवर कर सकते हो, बट आई विल सजेस्ट यू आप बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम वेस्ट मत करो थ्योरी में. मैक्सिमम 1 वीक फॉर ऑल द टॉपिक्स, एंड कुछ ऐसे टॉपिक्स है जिसमें शायद आप थोड़ी ज़्यादा एग्जाम्पल प्रॉब्लम्स या फिर थ्योरी पढ़ सकते हो, एंड दैट इंक्लूड्स योर अरेंजमेंट, योर रैंकिंग्स एंड पजल्स एंड रीजनिंग. एंड अगर आपको वो बार चार्ट्स एंड ये सब इंटरप्रेट करना नहीं आता है देन प्रॉब्ली यू कैन स्पेंड अ लिटिल मोर टाइम ऑन चार्ट्स एंड ग्राफ्स एज वेल. एंड अगर प्रिपरेशन स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में बताऊं तो मैंने जितने भी टॉपिक्स आपको बताए थे आप सबकी थ्योरी मैक्सिमम 2 वीक्स में कवर कर सकते हो, बिकॉज थ्योरी में ज़्यादा टाइम वेस्ट करना भी नहीं है. एंड थ्योरी में अब आप क्या करोगे, आप वो टॉपिक लेना, आपको जस्ट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि व्हाट टाइप ऑफ सेट्स कम अंडर दोज टॉपिक्स. एंड अगर उस टॉपिक से कोई सेट आता है, मान लो कोई अरेंजमेंट का सेट है, तो उसकी जो इनिशियल स्ट्रक्चर होती है, टेबल्स जो बनते हैं वो कैसे बनते हैं, वेन डायग्राम है तो उसमें अप्रोच क्या होता है. मे बी आप जस्ट किसी भी बुक से, आप जस्ट अगर सेल्फ प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो किसी भी बुक से आप पढ़ोगे वो टॉपिक को, उसके बाद 3-4 एग्जाम्पल प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करोगे, एंड दैट इज मोर देन इनफ फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक. सो इसलिए आप 2 वीक्स में जितने भी मैंने टॉपिक्स बताए थे आप सबके थ्योरी कवर कर सकते हो. आप यूट्यूब से भी जाके पढ़ सकते हो, मैंने ऑलरेडी टॉपिक्स के नेम बता दिए हैं, तो आप वो जाके नाम लिखो, राइट कैट प्रिपरेशन, जो भी फर्स्ट वीडियो आता है उसको देख लो, एंड यू जस्ट हैव टू सॉल्व प्रॉब्ली 1 or 2 सेट्स फ्रॉम द सेम टॉपिक टू अंडरस्टैंड कि किस टाइप के सेट्स आते हैं एंड किस स्ट्रक्चर में आप उस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक को सॉल्व करते हो. एंड जैसे ही आपका थ्योरी कवर हो जाता है, मैंने आपको 2 वीक्स बताया, अगर आप 1 वीक में कवर कर सकते हो इट्स वेल एंड फाइन फॉर यू, बिकॉज उसके बाद आपको कंप्लीटली थ्योरी में जाना है, एंड एवरी डे आपको DILR सेट्स के सॉल्व करना है. एटलीस्ट 4 days अ वीक तो आपको सॉल्व करना ही है. मान लो आप 3 hours एवरी डे देते हो फॉर 4 days अ वीक, तो 3 hours में एवरी डे यू हैव टू सॉल्व 3 सेट्स, मतलब 1 hour पर सेट आपको देना है. एंड इसका मतलब क्या होता है, ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको 15-20 मिनट्स में सॉल्व करना ही है एक पर्टिकुलर सेट, बिकॉज एग्जाम में दैट इज द टाइम दैट यू विल गेट. बट अभी प्रेपरेशन फेज है, आपको बहुत ज़्यादा डीप डाइव करना है एक पर्टिकुलर सेट में, इसलिए नो मैटर व्हाट वो उस पर्टिकुलर सेट पे लगे रहो. इवन वो सॉल्व नहीं हो रहा है, जस्ट डोंट सी द सोल्यूशन एंड एंड इट ओवर देयर. आप एक सेट शुरू करते हो तो एटलीस्ट 30 मिनट्स 40 मिनट्स उस पर दो, डिफरेंट मेथड्स ट्राई करते रहो, डिफरेंट स्ट्रक्चर्स ट्राई करते रहो. एंड आई थिंक इनिशियली अगर आप 2 सेट्स भी करते हो ना इंस्टेड ऑफ 3, मान लो आप जस्ट शुरू कर रहे हो एंड आप 2 सेट्स भी सॉल्व करते हो, दैट इज ऑल्सो परफेक्टली फाइन. बट मेक श्योर आप अपनी फुल एफर्ट डालते हो एक पर्टिकुलर सेट में बिफोर सीइंग द सोल्यूशन. अगर आपको लगता है 1 घंटा देने के बाद भी आप बिल्कुल मूव ही नहीं कर पाए हो आगे, देन प्रॉब्ली यू कैन सी द सोल्यूशन एंड सॉल्व दैट विद इन द नेक्स्ट 20-25 मिनट्स. बट अगर आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कि आप थोड़ी प्रोग्रेस करते जा रहे हो एक पर्टिकुलर सेट में, इवन इफ इट इज टेकिंग 40 मिनट्स 45 मिनट्स, प्लीज कीप डूइंग दैट, बिकॉज वो लॉजिकल बेंड ऑफ माइंड जो डेवलप हो रहा है दैट इज ओनली गोइंग टू हेल्प यू इन DILR सेक्शन. अब इसके बाद रिसोर्सेज कौन से बेस्ट होते हैं DILR के लिए. DILR के लिए कोई भी स्पेसिफिक बुक इतना अच्छा नहीं है, तो या तो आप मेरे पोर्टल में जा सकते हो, बट वहाँ सोल्यूशन नहीं मिलेगा आपको सेट्स का, बट बहुत सारे DILR सेट्स मिल जाएंगे, ओवर 150 सेट्स तो डेफिनेटली मिल जाएंगे वहाँ पर, आप जाके DILR सेट्स सॉल्व कर सकते हो, बट एक्सप्लेनेशन इज नॉट प्रेजेंट ओवर देयर. या फिर द बेस्ट सोर्स आई वुड रेकमेंड इज द पास्ट ईयर पेपर्स. आप जितने भी पास्ट ईयर के DILR सेट्स है वो जाके सॉल्व करो, दोज आर डेफिनेटली द बेस्ट सेट्स दैट यू कैन प्रैक्टिस, एंड दैट विल आल्सो हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड डिफरेंट पैटर्न ऑफ सेट्स दैट कम फॉर द कैट एग्जाम. या फिर पास्ट ईयर मॉक्स भी आप उठा सकते हो, बट पास्ट ईयर पेपर्स तो आपको डेफिनेटली सॉल्व करना ही है. एंड पास्ट ईयर पेपर्स अगर आपको यूज करने हैं देन आई कैन सजेस्ट यू ओसवाल बुक्स का 25 ईयर्स सॉल्व पेपर है, जहां पर आपको 25 ईयर्स में जितने भी कैट के क्वेश्चंस आए हैं अक्रॉस डिफरेंट टॉपिक्स सारे टॉपिक वाइज सेग्रीगेटेड रहेंगे क्वेश्चंस एंड दैट वन बुक कैन बी यूज फॉर ऑल द 3 सेक्शंस, वर्बल, DILR एंड क्वांट. सो आपको पास्ट ईयर के पेपर्स तो डेफिनेटली तीनों सेक्शन के लिए करने ही है. दैट्स वाई अब DILR तो स्पेशली करना ही पड़ेगा, बट बाकी सेक्शंस भी आपको करना ही पड़ेगा पास्ट ईयर क्वेश्चंस, बिकॉज दोज आर द बेस्ट सोर्सेज टू प्रैक्टिस एनीथिंग. एंड दैट्स वाई आप एक ही बुक ले सकते हो जिसमें आपको प्रीवियस ईयर 25 ईयर्स के क्वेश्चंस मिल जाएंगे फॉर ऑल द 3 सेक्शंस. एंड एट द सेम टाइम इसी पर्टिकुलर बुक में आपको काफ़ी सारे स्मार्ट नोट्स, रिविजन टॉपिक्स एंड डिफरेंट सेट्स के एक्सप्लेनेशन भी मिल जाएंगे. सो दैट्स वाई आप इस पर्टिकुलर बुक को आपके प्रेपरेशन के लिए भी यूज़ कर सकते हो. सो वन पर्टिकुलर बुक फॉर योर प्रेपरेशन एज वेल एज प्रैक्टिसिंग द पास्ट ईयर क्वेश्चंस. एंड याद रखना, जैसे मैंने आपको डिफरेंट टॉपिक्स बताए, तो आप इस बुक में जाके डिफरेंट टॉपिक वाइज भी सेट्स पहले सॉल्व कर सकते हो. कुछ एग्जाम्पल प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर लेना, कुछ एक दो सेट सॉल्व कर लेना प्रीवियस ईयर कैट के. यू विल गेट टू नो अबाउट दैट पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक. एंड एट द सेम टाइम एक्सप्लेनेशन मेंशन्ड है इस बुक में, बट यू हैव टू मेक श्योर कि आप जब भी कोई DILR सेट सॉल्व करते हो, आप स्ट्रेट अवे एक्सप्लेनेशन में नहीं जंप कर जाओ आफ्टर 10-15 मिनट्स. यू सॉल्व द सेट फॉर 40-45 मिनट्स एटलीस्ट, उसके बाद ही एक्सप्लेनेशन देख लें. बिकॉज जैसे ही एक्सप्लेनेशन अवेलेबल होती है, टेंडेंसी होती है स्टूडेंट्स की कि नहीं सॉल्व हो रहा है 15 मिनट्स, मैं जाके थोड़ी सी एक्सप्लेनेशन देख लेता हूँ, बाकी सेट मैं खुद सॉल्व कर लूँगा, बट दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प यू. इसलिए मैं सजेस्ट करूँगा आप उस सेट को सॉल्व करो, एक्सप्लेनेशन बाद में मैंशन होगी एंड वहाँ पर जाके आप फिर एक्सप्लेनेशन देख सकते हो इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू सॉल्व द सेट. या फिर अगर कोई और मेथड है इन विच इट इज सॉल्व जो फास्टर हो सकती है, तो आप वो भी जाके सेट सॉल्व करने के बाद देख सकते हो. एंड इफ यू वांट टू परचेज दिस बुक, लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन में मिल जाएगा एज वेल एज पिन कमेंट में, यू कैन परचेज इट फ्रॉम देयर. तो चलो अभी एक DILR सेट सॉल्व करते हैं सो दैट आई कैन मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड कि हाउ यू शुड गो अबाउट योर प्रेपरेशन व्हाइल प्रैक्टिसिंग द DILR सेट्स. तो अब इस सेट को आप देख सकते हो स्क्रीन पे, आप पॉज कर सकते हो वीडियो, एंड आई विल हाईली रेकमेंड यू कि आप एक बार एटलीस्ट इस सेट का स्ट्रक्चर समझ लो, इस सेट का एटलीस्ट स्ट्रक्चर बना लो. इफ यू डू नॉट सॉल्व इट कंप्लीटली, आप खुद एक स्ट्रक्चर बनाने का ट्राई करो कि हाउ यू विल मेक द टेबल्स एंड एवरीथिंग फॉर दिस DILR सेट, बिकॉज दैट इज गोइंग टू बी द स्टेप 1. एंड अगर आपको सॉल्व करना है आप वो भी कर सकते हो, बट मेक श्योर आप ये सेट एटलीस्ट एक बार पढ़ तो लो एंड समझ लो कि सेट में हो क्या रहा है, विच विल बी ईजी फॉर यू. एंड वट इज द क्राइटेरिया फॉर सिलेक्टिंग अ सेट फॉर मी ड्यूरिंग द एग्जाम? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं देखता हूँ कि वो टॉपिक अलाइंड है कि नहीं, वेदर आई एम कंफर्टेबल विद दैट टॉपिक और नॉट. फर्स्ट वो होती थी. उसके बाद मैं देखता था कि इज इट अ वेरी लॉन्ग सेट टू रीड विद मेनी कंस्ट्रेंट्स एंड स्टफ. अगर बहुत ज़्यादा कंस्ट्रेंट्स है एक पर्टिकुलर सेट में, देन मैं वो शायद, या फिर बहुत इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू रीड और बहुत बड़ा सेट है, देन आई वुड अटेम्प्ट इट लेटर. एंड एक और होती थी, अगर ये दो कंडीशन मीट हो जाए, दैट इज रीड करने में ज़्यादा कंबरसम भी नहीं है, एट द सेम टाइम टॉपिक इज ऑल्सो अलाइंड विद वट आई वॉन्ट टू डू, तो मैं क्या करता था, उसके बाद उसको फर्स्ट 2-3 मिनट्स में स्ट्रक्चर बना लेता था उस सेट का. इफ आई थिंक दैट आई कैन मेक अ प्रॉपर स्ट्रक्चर इन द फर्स्ट 2 मिनट्स, देन मैं आगे जाता था. मैक्सिमम 3 मिनट्स आप दे सकते हो टू मेक द स्ट्रक्चर, बट अगर आपको लगता है 3-4 मिनट्स में आपका स्ट्रक्चर भी नहीं बन रहा है, देन इट्स डेफिनेटली गोइंग टू बी अ डिफिकल्ट सेट एंड आप उसको बाद में अटेम्प्ट करना. सो ये सेट पे आते हैं, ये सेट सॉल्व करते हैं. लाइक आई होप बाय दिस टाइम यू वुड हैव एटलीस्ट गॉन थ्रू द सेट वंस. So let's start doing this set. So 6 children, Jay, Kishore, JK, Lemon, had distinct amount of money, 45, 65, 70. Okay, they have this not necessarily in the same order. We don't know how much money each one has. And at the same time, we have this. They went to a shop, bought 6 different chocolates, priced at this. Okay, so 3 parameters. One is the name, second is the amount of money that they have, and third is the price of the chocolate. The rules for purchasing the chocolates are as follows. Okay, we start with the constraint here. Each chocolate was paid for by exactly 2 children. So 2 children paid for each of these chocolates, and each child contributed exactly half price of that chocolate, and each child contributed exactly half of that price. Okay, no child contributed for more than 2 chocolates. Okay, so I think additionally we'll come to later. The first step, we'll start with the first step, and that is structuring. Okay, so step 1, now this is what everyone has to do till probably, if you are very good, maybe 2 minutes. If you are not so good, maybe 4 minutes maximum. You have to do the structuring. So what does the structuring do for us? We know that there are 6 different chocolates that we need to purchase. That is 30, 40, and what is 30, 40, 50, 90? Okay, 30, 40, 50, 90, 110, and 130. Okay, so this is my each of these step that I have to do. And each of these chocolates, these are chocolates. Okay, I don't know the name of the chocolate, I just know the price of the chocolates. And how many people contributed. So I'll just keep it in this one only, this plus this. I don't know who contributed for this, but I will just write it as this is the my initial structuring. Okay, so two people paid for it. What was the contribution by each person? It has to be half of, exactly half, which is 15, 20, 25. This will be 45, this will be 55, and this will be 65. Okay, so these are the contribution by each child. So this is my step one structuring. Second is this. JKLM paid, they had this much amount and they paid for it. Okay. So another table will be there, which is I like to keep it under different tables. A lot of people who try to fit everything in one table, but I like to keep separate tables for everything. Okay, so these are the 6 children that we have. And what happens here? This is the okay, they paid for maximum 2 chocolates. Okay, they can pay for maximum 2 chocolates. Chocolate, second chocolate, and this is the total amount. Also I will write down over here. Okay, this is my total amount. So this is my first chocolate, this is my second chocolate, how much I paid for that, and this is my total amount. So one condition I know is first chocolate plus the second chocolate should be less than equal to my total amount, because no one can pay more than the total amount that they have. Okay, so the first chocolate that they pay for, that is maybe 15 rupees, suppose someone pays, then someone pays 45 rupees, the total amount should not be it should not be more than the total amount obviously has to be more than 60 at least, if someone has to pay 15 and 45. So okay, so this is one condition. I know it does not have to be mentioned. And if I see over here properly, it is each child contributed exactly half, no child contributed more than 2. If you see this particular thing contributed more than 2, it could have been 0, 1 or 2. Each child could have contributed either for 0 chocolate or 1 chocolate or 2 chocolates. However, if you see here, there were 6 chocolates, each of these chocolates paid by 2 students, which means we have over here 6 blanks to fill. Okay, 6 blanks to fill, 6 blanks to fill, sorry, 12 blanks to fill. Okay, if you can see, these are 12 blanks to fill. So 12 blanks to fill by 6 students. So 12 blanks to fill by 6 students, and none of the students can pay for more than 2 chocolates, which means each of them had paid for at least exactly for 2 chocolate, because they cannot pay for more than 2, and if they pay for less than 2, then I cannot fill 12 spaces by 6 people. Okay, so they have to pay for exactly 2 chocolates. So this is just a word play that they cannot that they contributed that no child contributed for more than 2 chocolates. This is just a word play. They could have just mentioned each child exactly paid for 2 chocolates as well. So 0, 1 is not applicable, it is 2 only. So will come additionally, the following information is known. Both Manish and Kishore contributed towards 2 chocolates each. Again, every child contributed to 2 chocolates only. Again, a word play that we are doing. Among all the children who contributed for 2 chocolates, the difference between among all the children who contributed for 2 chocolates, everyone contributed for 2 chocolates only. The difference between the 2 contribution was highest for Manish and lowest for Kishore. Okay. So one thing I know is if I do first minus second, this is highest for Manish, highest for M, and lowest for Kishore. Okay, lowest for Kishore. And then I have neither Lokesh and Ankur contributed exactly 55 towards any chocolate. Okay, Lokesh and Ankur, L and A did not pay 55 for any chocolate, which means they did not pay for 110. So who can pay for this? J can pay, K. There is L cannot pay. This is M and this is H. J, K, M, H would have paid for it. Okay, J, K, M, H. K and L cannot pay for 110 chocolate. This is done, and I think there was another condition we have. Initially, Hem had at least 20 more than Ankur. Okay, so if we see the total amount total amount is greater than equal to 20, at least more than 20. Okay, more than Ankur. So these are the total, whatever were the total, these are the chocolates, these are the names, and another parameter is the amount that they have. Okay, 45, 65, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, so that is also something I need over here. 45, 65, 70, 80, 90, 100. These are the total amounts, and all of these total amounts now I have to fit over here. Okay, I have to fit over here. If you see, I have to fit all these total amounts over here. So don't go with the handwriting. I'm not very good on writing on tablet, but I hope you're able to understand this. 45, these are the things that you need to do. So this is my structuring is complete. What all I did, that is what you have to be careful about. Step 1, this table is something you need to make for structuring. What is this saying? Chocolate. Who contributed to it? Who are the two people who contributed to it? And each would have made a contribution of this much. Okay. After that, we have the second table. That is also something you should have made. What are the names? They should have paid for 2 chocolates, first chocolate and second chocolate. What is the price of those chocolates? What is the contribution that they made for the first chocolate? What is the contribution they made for the second chocolate? I will write over here. So this contribution thing will come over here. And total amount is something I have to fill. I have to figure out who has this total amount, these total amounts, and that I have to fill over here. And these are certain conditions I have. First plus second is less than equal to total amount. No one will tell you this particular condition. It is obviously intuitive. This condition was given and this condition was also given. So this is my entire structure. Within 2 minutes, I should have this structure. I had to explain everything. So obviously it became a bit lengthy. However, if you're doing it, I think if by 4 minutes as well, if you can have this kind of a structure, it is good enough for you, and that will help you understand whether you will be able to solve this set or not. Actually, you will be able to understand whether you'll be able to solve it or not in step 2, and that we will understand from step 2, which is your pattern recognition. What exactly is this set about? Okay, so step 2 I'll start with, which is your pattern recognition. Okay, now most of you should have figured out by now that this is a numerical puzzle kind of a set. Numerical puzzle, you can see first plus second. So 2 combinations added has to be less than equal to total amount. First minus second you have to do. So you have to understand the highest for M, lowest for K, HT minus AT. So you have to basically add up different numbers, understand stuff. So it's a numerical puzzle kind of a problem. And if you are a little bit advanced in your preparation, you would have also understood the pattern. So what I used to do was I used to write down the pattern of the question so that the next time I solve a similar problem, it will be very easy for me. So suppose here, the pattern is either A plus B is equal to X or C plus D is equal to X. And I have to understand that which combination is actually should give me X. That is either a child has contributed A plus B or whether a child has contributed C plus D. That I will understand from the hints, and X is basically their total amount. So, and based on these, there can be different combinations that can form X, and I have to understand what is a combination that fits for that child. For example, suppose I take any child, say A. I'm just assuming, okay, I'm not solving it. Suppose A has 70 rupees. 70 rupees, how can that be formed? If I look at the contributions, it can be formed by 25 45, right? If I see here, it can be formed by 45 plus 25 rupees. It will give me 70. Or I can also do 55 plus 15 will give me 70. So which means A either has contributed 45 and 25, which means they have bought the 90 and the 50 rupees chocolate, or they have contributed 55 and 15, which means they have contributed for 110 and 30 rupees chocolate. And this is based on the fact that they had 70 rupees to start with. That is, the total amount was 70 rupees that they had. They contributed 45 25, or they contributed 55 15, and now through the hints I have to understand whether he contributed 45 and 25 or he contributed 55 and 15. Okay, so this is something, but I'll just rub this off because this is not the right thing. I was just showing to explain you, but I know the pattern. So now whenever you get a set like A plus B is equal to X, or 2 different things need to be added to form a total, and there are different combinations through which you can make that total, you know which set to follow. And there's a very common kind of a pattern that appears in a number of LRDI sets, that there are different combination of numbers that need to be added to form a total. You need to understand which combination fits for which person. Okay, so I hope this pattern is clear. A plus B is equal to X, C plus D is equal to X. So which pattern it will fall into. Now the idea is whether I will attempt the set or not now depends on the fact that whether this pattern fits my problem. First thing that I said was A plus B is equal to X. It is not mentioned in this that everyone would have spent all their total amount. Now I have to check this particular thing, that whether each child has spent the total amount or not. If they haven't spent the total amount, then what happens is this set becomes a plus b less than equal to x, which means they either spend the total amount or they spend less than their total amount, and then it becomes an extremely difficult problem. And that's why I will never go ahead with that kind of a problem if this is the case. Second thing was, if it was that a child could have contributed for 0 chocolates or 1 chocolate or two chocolates, then again it would have been a very difficult. So I don't know whether a plus b is equal to x is the pattern, or whether the pattern is a is equal to x, or whether the pattern is a plus b plus c is equal to x. Not more than 2 is mentioned, so probably the third one is not right. But if it was a plus b is less than equal to x, or a is equal to x, or someone who might not have contributed at all, then it will be very difficult for me. So what makes it easy is, I know that two different numbers need to be added for every chocolate, or two different numbers need to be added for every child to make the total amount. Okay, that is very important. If I did not know that, if suppose I just came to know that one person, suppose A, would have contributed 70 rupees alone on one chocolate. 70 rupees he cannot, but maybe say he contributed 45 rupees on just one chocolate, then it would have been very difficult for me, because then the pattern entirely fails. Okay, if even if it was a plus b plus c is equal to x, then also I would have solved the problem, because I have a consistent pattern that three numbers are added to form a total. If it was a is equal to x, definitely I would have solved it. But the idea is it should have been consistent. It should not be that sometimes one number is added, sometimes two numbers are added, sometimes three numbers are added to form a total. Now, how to check this thing that it is less than equal to x or not? The only thing that you have to do for this is check this particular, the price of all the chocolates, sum this up and sum the individual amounts that they have. If that is equal, then obviously everyone has to exhaust the total amount, which means if suppose the total amount that everyone has, that is more than the sum of the price of the chocolates, then it can happen that someone has not contributed their entire amount, and then it becomes a very difficult set. Then it becomes a pattern of a plus b is less than equal to x, and I will never solve that particular kind of a set. Very difficult it will get. So that's why, let's see, 30 plus 40, 70, 70 plus 50, this is 120, 120, 210, this is 110, which is 340, and this is 470. 30, 70, 120, 210, 210, 340, and 470 is my total of chocolates. Okay, let's see for this. 45, 65, which is 110, 110, 180, 260, 350, 450. It is not matching, but total amount cannot be. I think I made some mistake. Sorry. 30, 40, 70, and are the numbers written 30, 40, 50, 30, 40, 50, 90, 110, 130. I think I made some mistake. 30, 40, 70, 70, 120. This is 100 and 210. This is 330. Sorry, this is 210, and this is 320. I made a mistake here. I think 320 and 130. It is 450 only. Okay, so in case I had made this as 450 and the other one as 470, then it would have been a bigger trouble, because then I would have thought the total amount is more than the chocolate price. So, and then I would have skipped that set. But because this was coming as 450, obviously I knew that the total amount cannot be less than the price of all the chocolates, because then they cannot purchase those chocolates, right? So let's it from my side. I think 450. I think I've given a lot of time to this set. We need to close it fast. 450 and 450, it is matching. That's why I know that everyone has to spend all their money. Okay, and that's why the sum of the chocolate has to be equal to x. It cannot be less than equal to x. So no particular child can spend less than their total amount. Okay, so this is this pattern only. A plus b is equal to x. 99% of the DILR sets will be this pattern only, that a plus b equals to x, or a plus b plus c is equal to x. It will be equal only. If it is less than equal to, you obviously, most of the people will skip that set, and it's almost an unattemptable set. That's why I know for a fact that this will be equal to x only, even before reading any of the stuff. Okay, I think we are ready to solve the particular sets. Let's now go and deep dive into each of them. Let's go. 45. Now I need to make these combinations. Let's see if I can zoom out a bit. 45. How can I form 45? I can do it with 20 and 25. Any other combination? by adding two different ones. 55, 15 and 20 I cannot do. So 20, 25, only two things possible. Okay, 25 plus 20. 65, how can I form 65? This is either 45, 20, or it can be 45 and 20. Okay, so see, one interesting thing is all of these numbers are ending with 5. Okay, this is where number system comes in handy. All of these numbers are ending with 5. So, and only 20 is ending with 0, which means to get 45 and 65, I need to have 20 for sure. For sure, I need to have 20, because otherwise I will not have the last digit as 5. Okay, these are some cues that will help you pick up faster. So this is final. Someone who has contributed 45 has to get 25 and 20. Someone who has done 65 has to do 45 and 20. Someone who has done 70, they can do, I just did, two combinations are possible for this. Either they can do 45 plus 25, or they can do 55 plus 15. 80, either they can do 55 plus 25, and is there any other combination possible? 65 and 15 is possible. 65 plus 15 is possible. 90, let's see. Who does 90? This is 90, 90. Just one combination is possible for 90, that is 55 plus 45. If you see, nothing else is possible. 100. Oh no, sorry, this is not 55, it becomes 100. So I think for 100, 55 plus 45 is possible. I was doing for 100. 90, 90, I think 65 plus 25, it's possible. Yes, 65 plus 25. Any other combination? Let's see. 55 plus 35 is not there. 45 plus 45 we cannot add. 25, I don't think so any other combinations possible. So these are the combinations that we have. Each contribution, remember, 15, 20, 25, 45, 55, 65 can be done just by two people, not more than two people. So 25, 20 is fixed. So one slot for 20 is gone, another slot for 20 is gone. One slot for 25 is gone, one slot for 45 is gone. Okay, and after that, let's see. 25, anything else? So this is only 25 is possible. So 25 I cannot have. So this I cannot have 25. Okay, this I cannot have as 25. So it has to need to have 55 plus 15. Okay, and after this 55, 55 also I have done. So if you see, this 55 and this 55 is done, so I have used it two times. 15 also I have used once. So yes, this 55 I cannot use. I need to use this 65 plus 15. So that was the only thing that I needed to do. I have done the what are the different combinations through which I can get this kind of a number. Okay, so whoever has contributed for 70 should have done 55 plus 15. Whoever had 80 rupees chocolate, the two people who bought 80 rupees chocolate, or whoever had final amount as 80 rupees, they would have contributed for the 65 rupees for one chocolate and 15 rupees for another chocolate. So this is what I have figured it out so far. And now it's kind of mere formality. It's very easy to solve now. I think most of the problem has been solved. Let's go to the hints and try to allocate the total amount to each child. We have hints here. First minus second is highest is M and lowest is K. Okay, let's see the differences. This difference is 5 rupees. This difference is 25 minus 20. This is 45 minus 20. 25. This is 40. This is 50. This is 40 again. This is 10. So now what we see is the highest is this. So M is the highest. So he will have 80. Okay, and what will be his contribution? 65 and 15 respectively. Lowest is 5. So Kishore is lowest, which is 45. His contribution is 25 and 20. Okay, so 45 is gone from here. 80 goes out from here. Okay. Now what is left is the other hints, which we'll see is Manish and Kishore contributed towards 2 chocolates each. This is done. This is done. Neither location all contributed exactly 55 towards any chocolate. Okay. Initially, Hem had at least 20 more than Ankur. Okay, so let's see. Ankur is present in both the places. So it will be very easy to solve for Ankur because more hints are present for Ankur. Okay, so and this is how you should approach any problem in DILR. When the same person is mentioned 2 or 3 places, it means it might be easier to start with that person. So see, Ankur cannot give 55 rupees and Ankur needs to have 20 less than Hemant. Matlab, which means if Ankur has 690, so Hemant would need so okay, Ankur can have 65 and 70, but Ankur cannot have 90, because if he has 90, then Hemant needs to have 110, which is not possible, which because maximum amount present is 100. So that's why 90 is not possible, 100 is not possible. So he needs to have 65 and 70. Let's go to 65, 70, 45 plus 20 possible. 70 is 55 plus 15 not possible for Ankur, because he cannot contribute 55 rupees, exactly 55 rupees he cannot contribute, right? So he has 45 plus 20 and he has 65 rupees with him. Okay, so 65 is gone. Now let's see who was the other person who did not have 55. I think it was Lokesh. Okay, Lokesh cannot give 55 rupees in any for any chocolate. 70 is this. This is 65, 25 possible. This is not possible. So 90. This is possible for Lokesh, giving 90, so that it is 50. It is 65 plus 25. 65 and 25 he would have contributed over here. Okay. So this is also done. Now left with Jay and Hemant. So the two amounts remaining is 90 and 100. No, 90 is also gone now. So 70 and 100 is remaining. So H needs to have at least 20 more than A, which means that he cannot have 65 as well, because A has 65. So H needs to have at least 20 more than this. So naturally he will have 100 over here. A has 100, which means his is 55 plus 45, and this will have 70. What is the contribution of 70? It is 55 plus 15. Okay, 55 plus 15 is the contribution for J. So this is the all the table that I needed. This is all the table that I needed. Any problem now that I have to solve can be solved through this. You just need to this. I think this table was not required at all, except the contribution part. I think this table was not required at all. But that is something you will only know once you solve the set. Okay, but your structuring has to be concrete. So just by using this set, you can easily solve it. But yes, obviously the first table is required to solve the questions maybe. So if I put, for example, if I just put over here who had contributed for 20, so it becomes easier with the first table if you just input the data. So who contributed 15 rupees? One is J, another person is M who contributed. Who contributed 20 rupees? One is K, other person is A. Okay, A. So similarly, you can fill for all of them. 25 rupees, who all contributed 25 rupees? One is K, another person is L. Okay, so this is how you can fill for other as well, because you have all the data in this table. Okay, you have all the data in this particular table, and through this table now you can easily fill this table and you can solve all the questions that are required. Once you have both the tables complete, there cannot be any question which can come outside of that. Okay, so that's why you saw what I did. First step, structuring, very important. I knew the two tables that is going to solve the entire set for me. So that is what you need to do in the structuring phase. Second was the pattern recognition. You need to understand what is the topic of that particular problem and what is the pattern, so that you know that I have to solve that particular set or not. And third is you go into the set solution, step 3, and take the hints and just put the values here and there into the table. And I think that is something you can form. I think this particular thing was very important as well, and that helps me because I know this a plus b is equal to x, so I could have done this in the structuring phase only. But even if you had done this particular thing in step 2, it's completely fine. I hope you have got an idea. The handwriting was not the best on tablet, but I hope this gives you an idea about how to go about approaching the next DILR set. Especially this approach helps you in preparing well for the DILR sets.